Hey everyone, welcome back to Schmoedown Night in Canada. Do I have that right? I hope I do.
Yes, you do. You
In,
have it right.
in, in here Sunday crew, I am your captain, Ben, and with me is my partner in always, Ryan. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Doing pretty good actually. It's been it was one hell of a Saturday, that's for sure. And there's definitely, definitely a lot for us to get into. But I know we're not gonna try to do a quick breakdown of everything. This is just our own opinions and how we felt. But man, I have to admit, seeing the Schmoedown back in studio again, oh my god. I forgot how much I missed that.
Right, and if you guys don't know, we're talking about the Collision 4, I believe, right? The
That's
fourth?
correct. The fourth collision four.
We had Lola Kelly versus Andrew Demalanta. We had, um,
Amaru Moses versus Saul. We had Marisol McKee versus Kevin Smith, and then the team's championship defense of Shazam versus Corruption. Every match actually no, I'm not gonna say my opinion. In my own personal belief, were amazing. Each one of them had their moments that can be talked about, and I won't say there's controversies, but there are definitely certain questions or certain things that were in each match that made you want to go back. And I think each match is definitely rewatchable, honestly.
exactly. And each match would have been a great match on its own, but as a collective, it was incredible. It was an incredible day of just watching movie trivia back in the studio. And it's not at all for that one reason, like an hour of a reunion type of thing. And I have to tell you, man, this from watching it on my computer, I got emotional. How about you? What did you think of that hour preview?
Um, I was kind of not that I couldn't watch the hour, but at the time when the collision was happening, I was at work. So it was always like a constant juggle of pulling my phone out and then watching and listening while I'm at working. So hearing all that stuff there, I'm like, damn. Just hearing how everyone was so moved, I swear it made me feel like, you know what? I can't wait for the next live event, or I want to immediately just ask for an advance my paycheck just so I can buy a ticket for Scum and Villainy and go see and just go there and be in attendance. I know right now, currently, it's the first, so the first taping at Scum and Villainy is happening right now, and makes me even more psyched up to actually buy tickets for the 14th, which I already did.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe it's sold out by now, right?
No, there's still tickets available, honestly.
Oh, wow.
If it was sold, trust me, they have three different tiers. There is the premium tier for people, but that one's a very highly priced. That's a heavy price tier. And then there is the early admissions, and then there's the general tier. There are still
Okay.
tickets available on them.
Nice. And I'm guessing you already bought your ticket for the spectacular?
Oh yeah, I bought the tickets for Spectacular the moment I heard it because I knew those tickets would sell out by the end of the week.
Right. And I think there's still like 80 tickets left or something like that, but it's getting close to selling out for sure.
Which one?
And for spectacular, I know there's like 80 tickets left, but I'm still.
Certain tiers on certain, like I know the elite, the VIP hasn't sold out. I'm not sure about the general admit. I know they're going to be doing that special Schmoedown like con or so I know because there's four different tiers I saw, and then the last one was just for the show.
Like, that's the one that you could still buy tickets for. But there's only so many left.
Yeah,
So why don't Mhm.
go ahead, man, go ahead.
I said I was going to say why don't we get into it? Why don't we start with the Star Wars match? Robert Kelly versus Andrew Delamanta. What did you think of this match?
This it one thing for sure, the writers have 100% stepped up with the Star Wars questions, without a doubt. I mean, I saw a taste of that when Demolanta and Damon 2. And of course, when I saw Gold Leader versus Harper, it looked like these were the same questions I would be seeing if this was Cabrera against Demolanta last year. But with Damon and Demolanta, and with this defense, and with Kelly and Demolanta again, they have definitely stepped up. Round 1, without a doubt, both competitors not going perfect, not even getting towards 8 points. That was no. Laura got 8 points, but even then, hey Taco, what's up?
Hi Taco.
But the fact that Laura and Andrew did not get towards 9 points, a near perfect round in round 1, shows that they are the writers are definitely focusing on the minute details, especially that question on Edge and Kolar's lightsaber color in Attack of the Clones, and when both of them missed it, and Laura realizing that it was green instead of blue because it's blue in Revenge of the Sith. That shows you the Star Wars films, you're going to need to be paying more attention to these, not just for quotes, not just for weapons, vehicles, not just for characters now. You're going to even start to look at their lightsabers. Hell, I would not be surprised if PJ asked a question about what kind of cloak Kit Fisto was wearing in Revenge of the Sith. I'm like, what?
I tell you, I don't think I would make it past the first question if I ever competed in this. How about you? I mean, these questions are impossible. For a layman, anyway.
No, and it is a good thing to notice. I mean, yeah, these would be next to impossible, honestly. I mean, so many, if you're just a regular casual Star Wars fan who's just seen maybe 5 of the films or know a little bit about the original trilogy, yeah, these questions would be next to impossible. Even what we saw with Laura and Demolanta, dedicated Star Wars fans, even with Demolanta, from his last 2 matches, he scores perfect or nearly perfect. He was struggling here. So the writers, 100%, the writers are showing that they are finding new ways to challenge not trip them up, but challenge them.
Makes me rush. I know it will never happen. That makes me, oh man, I want Richard back so much. You see him play against his new, well, I call them new, but they're really not that new anymore. I would love to see Richard play against Kelly and Andrew.
I don't think at this point Whitwer would ever return if someone ever showed him this match. Oh, mad about the Kiadi. Yeah, I too was tripped up with the Kiadi-Mundi question. Even though I was aware of his species, if the question was what planet he was on when Order 66 happened, I would have said that's a fair question. But yet, in round 1, what planet is he from? Or, like, you kidding me?
Yeah, oh my God. Now tell me, what about round 2? Do you have what they got?
Round 2, actually, I was very impressed with round 2. With seeing how Laura was able to do very well, and then with Andrew, the fact that she got a steal off of him, if I remember. Yeah, a 1-point steal off of Andrew. But no, she gets 2 steals off of it, 2-point steals off Andrew, and then Andrew is able to bounce that back by getting a 1-point steal off of her. So,
Well, I forget what category did they get.
let me see here. I believe Andrew, he landed on. He didn't get what? No, he didn't. He was afraid of getting a broad category. I think he got Rogue One. No, Laura got Rogue One, which Andrew stole off of her. Andrew ended up getting. I think it was this. It was Return of the Jedi? No, it was one of the classic.
Well, it was a Phantom Menace. It was a Phantom Menace, I believe, right?
Phantom Menace, yes. Phantom Menace, yeah. Because that's where Laura got her 4, I believe 2 or 3-point steals off of him, which gave her that huge commanding lead, honestly. Like, Laura really was dominating here. And even though, yeah, this was just the second round and there was so much more to go, just seeing exactly how calm that Laura was, seeing that she was really in her element here. She knew exactly what she was doing, and Winston just being there to cheer her on was amazing as well. I loved it. It was just something, it was beautiful.
And the next round is a betting round, right?
Yeah, that betting round, and both of them both got three. They both got that question right, getting 3 points.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a round where Winston came in with that Italian accent.
Which accent?
Italian?
I think it was the second round because he's all going to Laura. Look, no, it was after both he and Mark did a terrible Watto impression. I think that's when he popped in because because he was asking what kind of pasta she wanted. Like, what the pasta do you want? And then Laura's like, I want some penne. Those if that is not great manager and player communication with each other about with code words. I was looking at that live chat. So many people were talking just about pasta. They weren't even sure what do they mean by like how much was she betting?
It took me a minute to get it myself.
Yeah, trust me, Taco. I too would be struggling. I probably would not be within if I was playing against Dimolanta in this kind of match. I'd be trailing big time. Maybe saving myself in that speed round, but even then, this betting round. Just seeing Coy and Winston work with their competitors, it's once again reminding everybody out here how vital the managers have truly become. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that loud banging.
I just thought you were being passionate. I thought that was you.
No, that was from outside. I have my window because I'm trying to save energy on electricity, but at the same time, it's really getting stuffy in here, so I'm just opening the window, so I'm getting everything outside. But as I was saying, we do see how much they love working with each other. And Laura's character arc progression actually was interesting, seeing how her and Winston vibe together, going from the start of the season in her match against Molly to where Laura's all wearing a corruption shirt, being like, I don't want to be here on swag. I want to be back with corruption. And then seeing that storyline of her and Chandru trying to kick Winston out to her becoming part of Winston, like really becoming a part of swag.
I don't know. There's no part of me. Okay, I want to be very careful here. There's no part of me that doesn't trust her character. There's a part of me that feels like there could still be double cross. I hope not, but
I wouldn't be surprised. Christian did say in the interview that Laura has a friendship with Grace, kayfabe wise. I mean, even though they're probably friends outside the Schmoedown, but character wise, it does seem Laura and Grace have a certain relationship that Christian is kind of pondering about. And seeing from one of the previous cutscenes how Grace was congratulating Laura and Laura thanking her, it does seem that Laura is not 100% on the light side, but it seems that Winston at least was able to draw her away from the dark side that is corruption.
Right, exactly. Okay, so we did the betting round. Now let's talk about the speed round. What are your thoughts on round 4?
Yeah, this I can't mince words here. The speed round really was not fortunate for Laura. And this was just her first time actually doing the actual the digital speed round. She's had experience in the live speed round with the buzzards against Damon. But, once again, this was just more of most of the questions there. They were numbered questions, honestly. And some of them were tripped up, like how many directors directed a live action Star Wars? How many films was Boba Fett in? Which I would personally challenge that to my very being.
Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
How many did you say? Boba Fett, how many movies did you
Look,
say?
I knew that the answer they were going to have was 4, but honestly, that's because of the New Hope the special edition cut. If they were going to keep it to theatrical release, then it should be 3 with Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Attack of the Clones. That is what the number should have been. But because they included the special edition, they made it 4, which I would have challenged that because that question should not be in the speed round. That should be saved for a different round so you can word it properly.
Do you think, and I think I heard this a long time ago, as much as we don't like it, the special editions, they all canon.
This has nothing to do about them being canon, but with the Schmoedown, seeing how they're constantly been saying they're sticking with the theatrically released film.
Okay.
Sure, the special editions may have been re-released in theaters, but the truth is that needs to be very, very clarified, because when you get in the speed round, 60 seconds, you don't have time to word a question to where within the appropriate amount of time, within 60 seconds. That's why I didn't like it when I knew Andrew wasn't going to challenge that Bobo question. He had probably another question to challenge. Even then, a challenge should have been allowed in the speed round, but I get it from their point of view, because everything was being done within a short amount of time. Last thing you want to do is challenge a question and then have them redo it again on a question they missed out on. But we did see against Collins and Snyder that they slipped up on the speed round to where they gave Jeff a new question. So honestly, they should have allowed Andrew or Laura a chance to challenge. And I think, unfortunately, this is where it also falls a little bit on Winston not having too much knowledge in Star Wars himself. Or I think maybe Laura, because she was just so overwhelmed, or maybe a little flustered from the speed round, didn't have enough time to really think hard on that question. Because it was very...
But you're right. A question with that about the ridiculous, maybe that shouldn't be a speed round question. That could be a good 2-pointer or a good 3-pointer.
I feel that could be a 2 or 3-pointer, or this could be within round 3, or you throw that in round 2, honestly. Or it can be a broad question in round 1, like heroes and villains are mixed bag. How many films has Boba Fett been in? Including, and even then, it's all about how you word that question, because then you kind of give it away by saying including the special editions. How many films has Boba been in? Then So even if you are kind of giving that answer away, I think it's better just to have a question come out practically clear for you to understand. I understand the championship match, you want to challenge your competitors, so they're going to be a little harder. But in the context of the speed round, honestly, when it comes to something like that on a technicality, I think it's safe not to include that question there.
Well, all I know for sure, Christian hates the speed round.
He has not been shy saying he does not like the digital matches on the recording Schmoedown digital matches. He wants the live matches. I don't blame him. I understand it. Even I've seen from this community how frustrated people are with the digital matches. But at the same time, these digital matches, and this is not me going on a tirade against Christian. I completely see it from his side, but from my side as a fan, even though I live in California and it would not be more than under an hour drive to get up to LA, I can understand from fans who are from other states, other countries, different time zones, how doing this opens new avenues for them to watch Schmoedown matches, and even now, even possibly of becoming a part of the Schmoedown. We even seen the FCL. We've got players from different countries actually playing. So I understand completely from Christian's personal opinion on digital matches, but when you look at how many people you're bringing in community-wise and new general audiences, the digital matches, as much as it's become more of a burden for him, and this is just me personally saying, I think it's kind of a burden he needs to bear. I know if I was in his position, I would hate it too, but if I were able to look more at the positives on what the digital matches can provide, especially with many players who have a hard time scheduling for live shows, digital matches can definitely work within their schedules. Go ahead.
Maybe going forward, I agree with you, but maybe going forward, he just decides title matches, no more digital. Title matches only going
live
in studio or live events. Because that way you won't have to deal with the speed round, and it will be easier.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Christian if he wants to do championship matches on a live format again. And when we talk about Shazam and corruption, we do see how the live does change things. But I still personally think maybe having a digital match, a digital championship match, can still be neat, can still be helpful. I mean, it's still on the table. But you're right, Ben. You are right. I wouldn't put it past Christian if he wants to do championship matches in studio from now on.
I just know how much he hates that digital speed round. And I don't know. So let's go on to round 5, the
Yeah.
final round in this first match. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh man, I really was, as much as I've been loving Andrew's run, I wanted him to miss or choke on a question so it could be Laura's. Not because of her wanting, actually, I would have loved it because it did so well character-wise with their story. I mean, I know it's sometime during the chat, there were some people who were not liking the storyline aspects of the Schmoedown. And to me, I'm like, you guys, you don't like what you like, don't be a dick, or don't yuck anyone's yum. But if you're looking at how a character progression or a storyline plays out on how it helps somebody play, or like, okay, I'll give a great example. Dimolanta. When Dimolanta started, of course, he was just playing this, because he's a big fan and he wanted to play the game. But when he became part of the Finstock Exchange, his demeanor became something completely different. He was 100% laser focused to play, and you saw that in his playing. His match against Scrimshaw, to where he challenged that sudden death question. You saw in his match against Molly Damon when he challenged the Tidarium question. And even though he still won, you do see that Dimolanta was taking a very uber serious approach to this because of his new demeanor. And then when he lost to Cabrera, you also saw how hard he took it. And then let's fast forward to that little cutscene with Clark, Wolf, Laura, and Molly, to where you saw Andrew get a little heelish in his character. And then he gets picked up by Koi and the Mercs. And then that one cut scene with Bibiani and Koi, you do see them try to crack Andrew's little facade, and they do it. And you see how that changes from Andrew going from ultra serious to kick back, relaxed, and focused to where he beats Damon in that 51-50. And then he defends against Damon again. And then even now in his defense against Laura. You do see that as much as Corruption are top characters with heels, I do love it when I see a face win, showing that you don't gotta be this uber cool anti-hero or bad boy or bad girl in order to get the belt. You can still come in being calm, collected, being Captain America-like, and still get the job done.
I will say that I do see it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll tell you my thoughts later.
I really wanted to say I see a difference, a big difference, between Andrew of this season and Andrew of that season. That season, he never felt like he quite fit with the exchange. Yes, he kept doing well.
Yeah.
But this season, it feels like he's home. And because of that, we're seeing it take off big time. Him keep winning. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing him benefit from being in a better faction more fitted for him. What are your thoughts about that?
That's exactly how I kind of feel, because from what we've seen from last year, even from season 6, when players, or even this entire Schmoedown history, when a player is able to play to a certain demeanor or personality that fits them, they do so much better. I mean, best example, John Roca. When John Roca is being the outlaw, when he's being an asshole to people, there's something about him that makes you want to see him lose, or you kind of make him want to see him actually get what's coming to him or a victory. And from last year, we saw exactly what happened with Roca when he was trying to be supportive, or he was trying to be very relaxed. He did not play the way he was supposed to. And then he makes that turn against Dan Murrell. He stays with the Finstock Exchange, partners with JTE. You'd see the change. He beats Liz in the singles match. He comes very close to beating Bateman. He and JTE as Rushmore had TKO victory against the press room. They beat Lightning Time, and they came very close to being Danger Zone. Roca and also Bibiani, who tried to be a bit of a heelish character, but realized that didn't work for him. You see him change his demeanor, change the way he plays, standing up when he plays. That helped him win a singles belt. It got him a great partner in Brendan Meyer, to where they got to the finals in the Schmoedown tournament. They won the team's belt again. You do see when players are able to. Well, you do see when these Schmoedown personalities play to their strengths instead of trying to play what's on paper. It definitely pays off for them in matches. You can't tell me 100% that the storylines are not working for you if you don't see exactly especially if you're not really reading what's going on. Honestly, I know right now I'm sounding like I'm making a bit of nonsense or I'm not making sense, but I'm just saying that Schmoedown page with the clips, the Schmoedown clip YouTube page, they had a whole section dedicated to the rise of corruption. If you just look at those little clips again and then find the matches that Mike Kalinowski was playing and tell me that a storyline does not pay off in enjoying a trivia match. When it is weaved together and when it is told right, or even when the stars align, you do see how good a trivia match along with the story elements pay off. And I think it worked very well with Dimalanta, and I wanted to see that pay off with Laura Kelly. Her going from her joining corruption, getting this new edge and meanness to her character, coming up short against Ace Cabrera, and then she becomes part of Swag. She starts winning again. I would have loved to have seen her beat Winston to prove that you don't have to be the bad boy or the bad girl to win. I guess it's just me for loving face characters.
So, okay, let me ask you this. Because Lola lost, Winston had a tough choice ahead of him for the Snowers tournament. Did he go with Ace or did he go with Lola?
That is a hard one, honestly. I mean, that would be a tough one. That's why I hated the fact that the Star Wars tournament's going to be 8 players. But with the question that we got in this championship match, it makes even more sense why it's going to be 8 players, because it can't be all tough questions, especially if it's a 16-person tournament.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure we may get some single Star Wars matches outside the tournament. So honestly, this really does depend on which player's Star Wars journey ends this season. Winston, he has one without doubt a tough choice on his hands. I know even Kaiser has a tough choice on his hands, including even Kate. If Thomas Harper wins, or no, I don't think Thomas Harper is going to be in the tournament because he's going to challenge for the Star Wars Championship. So that takes it off Kate's hands. Oh my God, I'm still stuck here. I would say, you know what? I will go with Laura.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. Now I'm looking at it from a storyline point of view. If Lola is in a tournament, will Ace feel betrayed?
Yeah.
Will you feel betrayed enough to leave Winston?
Hello? Are you there?
Yeah.
I thought you paused for a second.
No, I'm ready.
I thought I froze. Sorry, I thought I froze for a minute. I'm
No.
like, I did not hear what you just said, man.
If Winston picks Lola, will Ace feel betrayed and will he leave Winston?
Man, that is difficult, honestly. I really don't have any immediate thoughts. I really don't. My mind is actually stuck.
Yeah, we don't know. That's the truth. We don't know. We have to see what kind of wonderful storyline Christian and the crew come up with. Okay, so that's only the first match. Let's deep dive into the second match. Soul versus Amaru Moses. What are your overall thoughts about this match?
Yeah. Back. Now, one thing I will say, I'm still trying to put my thoughts together, but one thing I'm going to say that about Winston, Winston is 100% a real manager. He is. I have not seen. I mean, look, Corey. This was definitely his pay-per-view, the Coalition. The Coalition, without a doubt.
And I like
But
that.
Winston, he is right there at second place of one of the best manager. I think he and Shannon would tie, honestly. But Winston did a great job with Laura. I know it may fall down to the last minute for him on who he's going to pick. But you know what? Winston is definitely proving that he is becoming more, and he's getting more and more comfortable as a manager. And you see that in all his players.
Definitely. So let's get into the second match. Soul versus Amaru Moses. What are your thoughts about this one?
Yeah.
And first match back in a studio.
Oh, yeah. The first match recorded in the studio.
Dude, when I saw that physical reel, I got emotional. And I wasn't even there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it on my computer screen. And like, finally, something I have missed.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this match overall?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was great seeing that physical wheel, seeing that audience cheer them on. I don't know how to feel about, I mean, yeah, they're using the smoke, to bring out the comparative, which is good. Oh, man, it's just like seeing that crowd, seeing Christian and Mark get to actually be right next to each other and, vibe, which is awesome. Although I kind of wish that corporate synergy of the Captain Morgan bottles weren't blocking them, but, corporate synergy, what are we going to do about that? It's kind of hilarious, though, with Amaru. First, of course, starting off, him and Saul, I think, honestly had no nicknames. I mean, it was hilarious how every title card I was seeing of Amaru and Saul's matches, their opponents had nicknames, but they didn't. So then all of a sudden, I'm seeing now on this programming, they both have nicknames. I thought, you just do this at the last minute, Christian? Because Jesus Christ. Look, nothing against Amaru being called the Silent Assassin, but I have talked with Amaru. I've been on his One Gotta Stay show. He is no silent assassin. He's an assassin without a doubt, but he ain't silent.
I missed it. What is Soul's nickname?
Oh crap! I would need to find that match again in order to look at his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
But it was always called. It was always, this is the Saul show, the Saul show. So maybe that was just it, Saul show, or it was something else. But it was still hilarious seeing how for so long in their matches, from Saul played against Brandon Hanna to John Humphrey, did not have a nickname, and now all of a sudden he gets a nickname. So I'm just thinking about. So it was just kind of this little funny little quote, like just this funny little thing in the back of my head. Like, Christian, come on, man, you really could have given me something better.
So what did you think of round one? That's not into that.
My God, man, I was kind of shocked seeing Saul just get, I won't say annihilated, but he just falls behind. Amaru going perfect in that round. Oh, no, he didn't get perfect. He missed one question, but getting that 2-point lead against him. No, I just pulled up the clip. Saul had no nickname. He was just called the Saul Show.
Okay, perfect.
But even then, seeing how that they were tied, dead heat, 1-on-1 until he gets that Marvel question, and then it's Amaru's game going all the way, and then Amaru misses a question, and then just like that, they are. Wait, no, he also missed a second question, so it was 8-7 going in. But you know what? That's completely fine, honestly. I mean, if this match is going to be determined by who was ahead after the first round, then because everyone's predictions in the past would have immediately changed from Saul to Amaru. But because Amaru really was an underdog going in against Saul, I can say that Amaru, the way he played, showed 100% that you should not have been judging his first match on how he was going to do. Because I won't say he played lights out, but he played like a man on a mission. And making sure he missed the question, good. when Amar missed a question, he didn't try to let that linger on him. He just moved past it and kept going forward, and it helped him in the second round when he got graphic novels. Now, he did have to check down a few times on graphic novels, but even then, he still aced that category to where he was in the lead. He had a 6-point lead in the third round. 6-point lead. So trust me when I say that. Amaru, man on a mission, without a doubt, showed you that if you were predicting it going against Saul that he was just going to be trailing behind him, you need to really, once again, not judge matches. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to form a clever sentence in my head, but I haven't had breakfast, so I shouldn't try to be clever right now. I should just be straight. I'm just saying that I had Amaru in my corner the whole time winning this match. So I was very confident when he got graphic novels, as long as he kept the lead, as long as he remained like a 4 or 3-point lead ahead of Saul going into that third round, I believe that this match was his. But then seeing how like he did very good. He only checked down to multiple choice once on graphic novels, which was the Oblivion question. Seeing that, I'm like, yeah, Maru's definitely he's got this category nailed down. Of course, getting Spinner's Choice also helps too. I mean,
Right.
You get Spinner's Choice, it's always gonna give you a good leg up.
Yeah, once he got the Spinner's Choice, I knew they were always getting back to lose. Like, I knew he was going to win. I don't want to say he wanted it more, but you could just tell everything was getting aligned for him in a really good way, and we saw that into the third round. I'm talking about that third round.
Well, I mean, look, like I said, he had this 6-point lead. I mean, especially after when Saul had got a Planet of the Apes. Now, when Saul kept it, I thought, okay, this is going to be good. It's still going to be a very close game. But then seeing how he missed one question, Amaru got a steal. He checked on a multiple choice, Amaru got a steal. And then Saul finally started getting his groove back around that third and fourth question. But even then, when Amaru got another steal off of him, and then I won't say that Saul will think twice on getting Planet of the Apes. Yeah, he did. He definitely did, 100%, especially when he still has some JTEs left, Leo. You are 100% right. But even then, seeing with Planet of the Apes, there were times to where Saul really was kind of jumping the gun a little bit. Sure, he went to multiple choice a few times, but it was more of like, I won't say because it's the live crowd, because Saul kind of played, because Saul had the same mindset as he did in his digital matches. You know, he wasn't trying to focus on who's talking to him, who's in the crowd, or what's happening. But I saw the way he played was similar to when he played against Brandon Hanna, honestly, when he got Planet of the Apes. Once he missed 1 or 2 questions, he started to his gameplay started to change a little bit. But even then, he still was able to rack up 5 points after that match, still going in, even though he didn't get any steals, which was unfortunately it was very unfortunate. Look, I didn't want Saul to lose by TKO, but I really wanted Mario to win. And seeing how Saul throughout the entire journey has been saying he's never been pushed to that third round, I'm going, people got a short memory because he did get pushed to the third round when he went up against Brandon Hanna and lost.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I want to ask you something about the Planet of the Apes category. You know, this is the second time in a few weeks we've seen it, and people are having trouble with it. Is this Planet of the Apes category the interkingdom equivalent to movie release dates?
Well, that is a good question. And honestly, when I first saw it added on there, I'm thinking to myself, Planet of the Apes should not be an Inner Geekdom slice. But like everything when it comes to Inner Geekdom, it's always about the core question of what do we categorize as geek.
Right.
And seeing exactly how Planet of the Apes, and I've said this multiple times on here when we do these Schmoedown nights in Canada, these geek slices are proving to be true trump cards to so many geek players. It's really separating It's really separating. I won't say the high and middle tier players, but it's really showing gaps in their knowledge.
It's becoming, before this year, I would say it was Star Wars, Intergeekdom, and Singles and teams are like this close. But now, after this year, it feels like Intergeekdom is moving more towards being closer to Star Wars. Do you agree with that? There's about, there's based on, what? Difficulty. Thank you.
No, exactly. I mean, singles and team only are not that. I still say singles and teams do have their difficulties, but because, from what we've seen, Intergeekdom and Star Wars, because these are very small circles of films, the questions get deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like that. It's like that Shrek analogy in the film. Intergeekdom and Star Wars are like onions. They have layers and layers and layers and layers. So it's always something interesting. Actually, Shrek, but also taking the Forrest Gump analogy with the box of chocolates. Star Wars questions are like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. Same with Intergeekdom questions. Now that swashbuckling, sci-fi, animated, Planet of the Apes, Pirates of the Caribbean, and dystopian time future are slices, you really have no idea what you're going to get. And I'm not just going to highlight Saw and Planet of the Apes, but from the last time we did this, we talked about Jesse Swift against Jacob Whittaben. Jesse Swift struggling with Planet of the Apes.
Right.
Planet of the Apes is definitely that category, that slice you need to bone up on. You have to bone up on that knowledge. You have to watch. It's not more about the new trilogy of films or that Burton film, even though they are more newer. But that original trilogy is proving to be, without a doubt in my mind, one hell of a not Trump. Well, it's true. It's really being like that little ace up.
I think it's 5 movies.
Oh, sorry, 5. Did I say trilogy?
I think
the original 5. The original 5 Planet of the Apes films. They are really proving to be, without a doubt, the true test of an Intergeekdom player's knowledge.
Yeah, like movie release dates and singles, in my opinion.
Well, actually, yeah, and the fact that they're there, movie release dates even become tougher, including quotes has become tougher. Heroes and villains have become tougher. Even mixed bag has become tougher because of this stuff that's been added. So not only are these slices alone dangerous by themselves, but the fact that they're now included in these extra slices that were already in Intergeekdom makes Intergeekdom that much more dangerous.
Spider-Man, another good one. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman being their own categories. I don't see them as difficult, but the fact is that they keep. But it's at this point, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. I think they're going to be a little bit like the Star Wars slice in IG and the Middle Earth and Wizarding World slices. The more times they're selected, the deeper cut the questions are going to get. We haven't gotten there yet, but as we saw with Saul's 5-pointer, to bring back up Leo's question, quotes. A quoted Batman film definitely is definitely one of those little deep cuts you have to look out for.
Absolutely. Right. That was the second match. It was another good match. Amaru won. Can't wait to see who he'll play next.
Well, I think he's going to play. He won the number 1 contendership, so he's either going to play Kalinowski or Chandru.
Okay. Right. Which, out of those two, who do you think he'll play, and who do you think he could beat out of those two?
Honestly, I think he can beat both.
Really?
But I think Amaru. I know Amaru can beat both of them, but it's going to depend on the level and how the degree and how he beats them. Now, I think he'd have a tougher time against Chandru, but because of these new slices, I think Chandru. I keep saying his name differently, just like with Amaru. I think Sean. Wait,
We
what?
can't forget that. Ethan is now in the intermediate tournament.
When was that announced?
I think it was announced yesterday.
Oh, yeah. When I got off of work, I spent most of the day relaxing, so I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at Schmoedown news. But if Ethan Irwin is in this tournament, okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But as I said, I think with these new slices, Amaru. You know what, Amaru, if you are watching this and I keep butchering your name so many times, you have every right to hit me up on my DM and tell me, dude, get my name right. I think Amaru, he has an edge against Mike. But against Chandru, it would be a closer match.
It was announced.
Never mind. I was not paying attention to Hararoff's Facebook live stream. I mean, it was Q&A. If it was a Q&A, then okay, I get that.
Yeah, it was not. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So, yeah.
I mean, how about you, man? To take the question right back to you. Between Kalinowski and Chandru, who do you think? Do you think Amaru can beat them, or will it be kind of more of a tougher battle?
Okay. Are we going to get that match in the studio?
I'm pretty sure this may either be this is going to be to a spectacular.
Okay.
No, wait, because if there's an IG tournament coming up, then it's not going to be for a spectacular. This is going to happen maybe in New York, or it's going to be at a Schmoedown live event.
Okay.
Not live, a studio match.
Because Evan hit the studio, I don't think Amaru can take either of them. But if it's over digital, I think Amaru can take Mike.
Really?
Mike eats up that studio and the live events. And says,
but he did beat Mara in a digital match, though.
What?
Mike did beat Mara to retain that belt in a digital match.
Okay.
But to get back to your point, keep going.
But what's the opposite of kryptonite? Mike soaks up the audience, like the sun helps Superman take the power.
Yeah.
So once Mike is back in a live event, there's no stopping him. I think it all depends where that one match is going to play. Is it going to play on digital, or is it going to play in a live event, or in the studio?
Honestly, I would love to see this be live or in a studio, because we did see how both Amaru and Mike can definitely play. We know from experience how Mike plays in a studio, without a doubt.
Right. And
we just saw from Amaru's match against Saul how well he's able to handle himself. But that was one match. Him in a 5-rounder, though, that will be a different story, especially now in the studio matches. Those buzzers are back in full swing. I think if it was a digital match, Amaru would definitely have more of the better edge. He would have more of the advantage.
Right. But in a live studio, Mike has an edge, in my opinion.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Because now with that speed round, I mean, of course you can pass on something with those buzzards, but at the moment, depending on where your lead is, it's something you don't want to risk too much on, or, it's kind of like you're hoping your opponent will, miss out on it.
Right.
It's really difficult to tell. But I know one thing for sure, even though Amaru won, Saul, as he said in his post interview, Saul is definitely not done by a long shot. Saul is going to come back angrier, more focused, especially we know who he's going to play against.
Yeah. He's going to be in the tournament, right?
Yes. They already hinted that they already teased one of the matches in the Air Game tournament is going to be Saul versus Brandon Hanna.
Ooh, yeah.
So this is kind of a bit of like an opportunity for revenge for Saul, because he lost to Brandon Hanna last year in the Air Game tournament.
That's going to be a good match.
It really is.
Okay, so let's move on to Marisol versus Kevin Smith. Probably one of the most interesting matches we've had
Mhm.
in quite a while. What are your thoughts about this match?
Well, interesting is not much to say the least. I personally say it was an entertaining match. Um, uh, Earlier on, I had Kevin Smith with the W because the fact he's so ingrained in because he's a filmmaker, and because most of the questions in his matches so far have been mostly a lot of not surface level questions, but more of data questions. So I thought, okay, he has no problem pulling his victory out. But Marisol, she proved once again that she is dead focused. She is she is definitely on a different playing field.
Marisol came to play yesterday,
Oh, without a doubt.
and oh my God, she did wonderful. What did you think of round one? Now get into round one first.
Well, it was a very straight match, honestly, with round one. You know, it was a good back and forth, honestly. Kevin, clearly from the movie's hat he was wearing, he was just there to play and have fun. And Marisol definitely came decked out in character, ready to play as well. So this was truly a tale of two different players. Now, we can't beat around this bush here, but looking at the question he challenged on, which actress was in Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Even though he wrote Kate and Marisol had the full name Kate Blanchett, and he challenged it. I really was not. That was really not a wise decision. As much as Coy wants to support his players, I thought it was a bad choice on him to support Kevin. He should have just said, Kevin, I love you, man, but no, we should not challenge this. Because he might have won that challenge moving down the road.
Because spoiler, if he didn't challenge right then, he would have challenged at the end. And who knows what would have happened if he didn't.
I don't think it would have helped him either.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't believe he knew that at the end.
I don't know. I guess this is just this is the conundrum with that challenge that he threw out there. It was kind of a waste, but also it was just, I think it was really just, this was like one of the weaker matches, honestly, with them. I just did not think that he should have thrown out that challenge. I mean, look, I can go over and over this in my head a million times, but after this, I'm just going to say it once and not think about it again. Kevin Smith kind of proved that, not proved, but Kevin Smith at that one moment, you saw the competitiveness in him come out because of the fact he's in Hollywood, and most likely from his argument, you can understand, oh, he knows plenty of Kates. But if he knew that question and it just didn't come to him later, he has those repeats for a reason. And you see at the end, he has all three of his JTEs. So I don't know where I think this was kind of one of Coy's weakest match as a manager, honestly. You can't just support your player and cheer them on. As a manager, you have to make some of the tough calls. And Coy should have made a tough call, even if it was soured Kevin's mood a bit, should have just advised against it. Period. If I was in Coy's position, I would have advised Kevin from challenging. I really would have.
Okay, let's say he didn't challenge then. Would you advise Kevin to challenge at the end?
Well, just his challenges in general, I would have said no. I know at the point after he lost that challenge, Kevin was just joking afterwards because I saw this live chat, even after that challenge, there were so many people, mostly some corruption stands and some Schmoedown fans who are going like, Kevin, you are making this joke. This is ridiculous. I'm like, if you guys not watch Kevin's matches, he's always been doing that, commenting or complaining about certain questions after it's over, if he gets it right or not. It's more of like you're really not paying attention to those fans who were in the chat taking this seriously. I'm like, if you have not watched all 3 of his matches, you're seriously not paying attention. You're only focusing on what you've heard. This is why when I read so many people in the community post about, oh, the Schmoedown, I'm not into the storyline. Schmoedown is not what it used to be. No shit. I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't want to get this. I don't want to get this tangent here. I'm just saying, anything that's on YouTube has to consistently grow and change in order to provide great entertaining content. And the Schmoedown is not different. I mean, I'm just gonna say this one last time. This was not something that you should have taken seriously over. I mean, you saw what happened in the post interviews. We all saw what happened in post interviews. Marisol and Shan didn't make no big deal out of it. And Kevin and Coy, they touched on it a bit, but afterward it was done. And then what happened when we saw later? A cutscene of Harloff reaching out to Coy where it's teasing possibly Christian versus Kevin match. So believe me, guys, they were not taking it this seriously. And also, you guys forget this was pre-taped? This was not a live match. So I'm sorry. I don't want to insult anybody out there, but I'm like, guys, you saw if you were heavily following the Schmoedown, then you already would have known weeks ahead that the Collision was pre-taped. You knew weeks ahead Kevin Smith was shooting Clerks 3. You knew weeks ahead about this stuff. It's kind of on you at this point. If it means I'm not going to be back here on Schmoedown Night in Canada, I'm going to be on sabbatical for a while. I'm sorry, guys, but this was kind of on y'all.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's pivot.
Now get into that final match. Corruption.
Well, wait, hold on. Before we get to the final match, Ben, I know I've been on this little platform already, but just this match, looking at Marisol's performance, looking at her how she played in round 2 and round 1 with Marisol. I mean,
she was impressive. I mean, like you said, it was a pretty straightforward match. Yeah, there were some hiccups, but I think we covered those already. She played great. He played fun. Now she had a title match in her sights. The first time being since Clark Wolf, a singles woman has a chance to hold the title. They're great. I can't wait to see who she plays next. And yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah.
Kevin will be back. I will say that he will be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do say that. Yeah. But seeing how well she did with 80s, though, knowing that she gets 80s. Oh no, wait, she didn't get 80s. She spun away from 80s. I'm sorry. She made this little nice tirade. But seeing how she did so well with Reese Witherspoon, an actor who clearly, from when we saw with Kevin Smith with Matt and Ben, how he swept that category, we do see that Kevin Smith, when he gets not something that he's known for, but like I said, him being a director, when it comes with actor questions, he is able to consistently, really aim it. Like he slays the question.
Absolutely. So is there anything else you want to talk about in this match?
Yeah. And then also he did steal off of Marisol and Reese. Oh no, he didn't. I swear to God, I'm playing this match back in my brain so many times. I keep thinking that Marisol got a point stone, but she didn't. She only missed one question, and that was that last one in Reese Witherspoon. Jesus.
Okay,
go ahead. I keep interrupting you.
What?
I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, please. It was a great fun match. So now talk about the main event, Corruption versus Shazam. What are your thoughts about this one?
Where are those damn t-shirts, man? Where are those damn t-shirts? 5150. Jesus! I mean, if the Fin Stock Exchange was able to easily get their T-shirts that says the TKO stock, we need those 5150 shirts. And because this was pre-recorded, I know we're gonna get them. We're gonna get those damn shirts.
Oh yeah. Who did you have going into this match?
Shazam. Nothing against Corruption, but from all Corruption's last matches, for good or worse, Mike has constantly been the one who has been the B-plus player to Chance Ellison. I'm not saying Mike could not be doing any better. We saw, but in this match, Mike and Chance both slipped up. They both slipped up. Sure, Chance went perfect in the first round, but when they got geeked in round 2, how both he and Chance missed 2 questions that allowed Shazam to get those steals. It's we do see a little bit of a weakness, a gap in both of them as players. But I was still going with Shazam because in Shazam's last matches against Final Exam, against Odd Couple, they have played nearly perfect.
They were incredible. I had Corruption too, but I think deep in my heart I knew Shazam was still going to win. They're just on a roll. At James is playing like he's never played before. The kid is incredible. The talent alone in this match was amazing.
It was.
What did you think of round 1?
Well, outside of Mike, seeing Chance, Brendan, and William all get perfect rounds. Oh, no. Chance missed a question, so it was mainly just Bibiani and no. All 3 got perfect. All 3 got perfect. So seeing exactly how all 3 of them were able to stay within that pocket and get and extend that lead. I mean, there's nothing much to say, nothing too in depth to go to. They just played just like they always played. They were 100% fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. They played perfect, almost perfect. You really said it all. I really got as much to that. What did you think around 2?
Well, outside of Corruption, getting that and missing up a couple times on Inner Geekdom, but seeing Shazam really do very well in the 2000s was kind of surprising. I mean, sure, it was a mulligan they landed on, but seeing Brendan and Bibbs worked well together, really talking with each other, and nothing to take away from Mike and Chance as well. They've proven why Corruption is a top team. I guess it just comes down to where Bibbs and Brendan, they were just once again on top of their game.
Do you think, as of right now, do you think Bibbs and the kid have better chemistry or as good of chemistry as the Shire was? Or they at that level right now?
Don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Rachel and Clark, they were definitely a one of a kind team. They were really one of a kind team. And Bibbs and Brandon, they're just the same way, one of a kind as well. It's really hard. I mean, both had great chemistry. Both definitely wanted to work with each other.
To me, Brennan and the Bibbs and the kid, they already passed the Patriots. They already passed Corruption. I'm just talking chemistry-wise. I'm just talking.
I know. I'm not going to counteract you. We all have our opinions.
They passed top 10. They passed Founding Fathers. And to me, yeah, I think they all. They're not on the same level that one below Shire was. And I think if they win a few more matches, I think they'll be there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if we are going on chemistry, I think Shazam has the edge over the Shire Wolves, though. Even though I love the Shire Wolves, they're still one of my favorite teams. This just most likely goes to the fact that we got over 11 matches of Shazam, to see how good the chemistry is between Brendan and Bibbs, digital and in studio. And even with the Shire Wolves, it's no different too. We saw exactly how well Rachel and Clark work together. I think ultimately it just comes down with the improvements, the progression that was made. And seeing how Brendan, who started off just sitting in matches with Bibbs, all of a sudden starts adopting his standing philosophy and how it's helped him. They both have improved each other.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, do you think they have better chemistry than the first odd couple? I think they do.
Oh, man, when it comes to chemistry, it's a consistently revolving door, honestly. I think chemistry, it works when it's within the first 4 or 3 matches of a team, but personally to me, it's got to be during the long road.
Okay,
but Jeff and Mark, they kind of had that chemistry within that second match when they played together. So, right. I don't know. Like, it's really difficult to tell. I really don't have it. But with Shazam and Corruption, this was just a plane of veteran teams. Which one was just more in tune with each other? And man, and when it comes to this match alone, Bibbs and Brendan were more in tune with each other. Not like, but it, and this is no disrespect to Corruption, but after that first round, we saw Mike get flustered. We've seen Mike, like, no matter how many times he tried to maintain composure, you can't help but see on camera after he was missed 1 or 2 questions, and even after the Inner Geekdom slice, you do see Mike was starting to beat himself up a bit. Now, he and Chance, they bounced back in round 3. Chance was able to get them back within a 5-point differential in round after that speed round with those buzzards, which 100% proves that even though the digital speed round was good, but nothing beats the intensity and the anxiety of that buzzard round. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I think that will play into the future of any championship match. I think.
Honestly, I was going to say for Christian, I'm pretty sure, like earlier you said, it wouldn't get past you if Christian wanted to do championship live matches again. After seeing with Shazam and Corruption, I would not be shocked if Christian starts to state on an SCN or on the next big thing, or again on one of his Facebook live Q&As, he's going to have championship matches be all in studio. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised.
It was like a kid. When those buses came out yesterday, it was like a kid opening up Christmas presents with Christian. He was so happy to have them back.
Yeah. And man.
I don't know if we'll see the digital speed round again. Maybe we will, but I don't think we'll China match. I don't know.
Well, like I said, it really depends. But let me ask you a question. When it came with the 5th round, when Shazam got that 5-pointer, were you hoping it would go to sudden death, or were you just wanting Shazam to get that victory?
I knew they were going to go to sudden death the whole match. I mean,
really?
They were just like that good. It was that kind of day. Everybody was happy. I could just tell, okay, they're going to go to sudden death. How about you?
Honestly, I thought they had their 5-pointer, honestly. I really did.
Really?
I thought... it wasn't like they were trying to do Corruption's little thing. I just honestly felt that they knew the 5-pointer. They just had to talk amongst each other. But then, after they asked a couple of GTEs, seeing Brendan's face, it did look to me like he may not have known it, but it just the Bibbs needed more time to figure out that Pixar question. And I've not seen Coco yet, so I was even stumped myself. What the answer was that question was?
I did watch Coco for the first time this week, and I forgot what that answer was.
Yeah, but this was like a plot-specific question. Like, you do see the difference in questions on what Shazam and Corruption got. Corruption's 5-pointer in horror, it was pretty much just a description just name the movie. They gave a plot synopsis, a plot summary question, and they just needed to answer the movie. While Shazam, on the other hand, they got a plot specific question on which they needed an answer. But like I said, it's all about the luck of the numbers you pull. The numbers you pick. I was saying, round 5, it's all that final round. It's all about the luck of the numbers you pick. This is not complaining that the 5-pointer should have been more difficult, but even then, like I said, it's all about that luck.
And the luck of the draw. Let me go quickly into not really, but what did you think about the difficulty of a sudden death question?
I think outside of the Kevin Bacon film, the Cold Mountain question, every one of them was fine. I've not seen the air up there, so that's not me saying it's difficult. This is just more of I have no idea who stars in that. And then the Cold Mountain one, a location question. It makes perfect sense because, sudden death, these questions need to be challenging in order to prove that you earned that victory. But man, the fact that nobody got that question, North Carolina, I was amazed. Like Mike said in his post interview, he questioned himself. He questioned his gut to where if he had wrote North Carolina down, corruption would be the champions. But because it didn't happen, it kept going until it got to the air up there.
What did you think about the Greece question?
What question?
Greece.
I'm sorry. I don't understand that. Can you give it to me again?
I think Greece. Never mind.
No. I'm trying to piece it together. Like I said, I'm running this match through in my head again. Which question?
Maybe Greece put this. I thought it was Greece, but maybe.
I think that was round 1. No, you're right. The first question in sudden death. Yeah, Greece was that first question in sudden death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the one that kicked it off. Yeah, they all got it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
For me,
I only recognize one song in that. I only recognize one song in that question, and I didn't think it was Grease.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say something, but I won't save it. Yeah. So that's the match. That's a collision. What are your overall thoughts about the whole collision?
Well, I mean, if people have been looking at my little tag handle here, no questions. I have no questions that this was 100% one of my favorite Schmoedown pay-per-views. This wasn't like I'm saying I should have been more clarified. I should have clarified more about my tag handle, not saying that, no questions from the chat. It's just more of, this is me saying I have no harsh criticisms, no harsh questions on this collision. They tried to give us the best entertainment. They tried to entertain us. They wanted to put together the best matches, and we got that. Despite everyone's minor complaints, the collision was amazing. It was incredible. And I'm pretty sure some people did not get a clean sweep in their predictions, because I personally know. I saw Omaro was like maybe on an 80-20 scale of people going for him. And I know it was back and forth between Corruption and Shazam, and back and forth between Laura and Andrew. The only big differences were Amaru Saul and Marisol and Smith.
Yeah, I got some right. No, I don't think I got any right in my prediction.
The ones I only got right was Amaru and Shazam. I went with Smith and Laura.
Yeah, me too.
I was 2 for 4. But even then, this was still a very good match. It kept me glued to. Even when I was listening at work, it kept the headphones glued. It kept my earphones glued on because I wanted to know what was going to happen. So to say that it entertained me 100%.
Me too, man. Me too. Well, it's almost over an hour. I gotta get going. So,
yeah.
Ryan, where could everyone find you?
Well, I mean, if I didn't piss people off in comments later when they rewatch this, you guys can definitely find me on Schmoes of the North Network on Mount Schmoedown as myself, Ben, and our co-host, and our lieutenant John DeGraggio. We talk about Schmoedown players, past and present, as we break down their careers and really discuss on what makes them memorable and what makes them worthy of being one of the Schmoedown legends, a place in the Schmoedown Hall of Fame. This month, this past July, we've been doing nothing but talking about factions, and that's not going to stop going in this month. As this upcoming Saturday, we are going to talk about corruption. We're going to talk about them from season 6 and moving forward on how that it went from simply just a 3-man group to possibly one of the more dominant and popular faction staples right now in the Schmoedown. And then any other Schmoedown night in Canada. I mean, pretty sure the boys are going to ban me a little bit after my little tirade when they rewatch this. So otherwise, that's where you guys can find me.
You can find me at Matt_Arena on Twitter. Like Ryan said, every Saturday I'm at Schmoedown. Also on Saturday, Get Ready on this channel. And recapping the past every Friday and movies every Thursday. And until next Sunday, this has been Stay Ready and have a good week. See you next time. Bye.
Long live the Schweddies.
Long live the Schweddies.